You want to go and get it.
From iHeart Podcasts, Bloomberg and Kaleidoscope, this is Levittown. I'm Margie Murphy.
And I'm Olivia Carville.
Doug sifted through image after image, email after email, attempting to trace the sender. There were so many emails, and they were sent from different addresses, making it hard to identify the sender. Many of the messages were also attempting to get her to click on links to porn websites. Doug wondered if the sender had posted these explicit images online, which is a crime in New Zealand. So in addition to the threats of blackmail that the person was sending, if these images were disseminated online, and if Doug could catch that person, it would mean years in prison.
Although I'm a hunter, I'm still bound by rules, by laws, and by a line that I cannot cross. The reason why Will got involved is because there were lines that needed to be crossed.
Doug had heard about Will from another officer who said Will was known for doing whatever had to be done to solve tricky cases like these.
He is like a little terrier. So as soon as he gets a rope to pull on, he'll pull until he gets the whole rope. He would go to extremes.
My name is Will Wallace. I am 37 years old, live in New Zealand. I have a young family.
Will is really nothing like a little terrier, and he's much more comfortable behind the computer.
In that space, I found it a lot easier just to be a nobody, not worry about all the other stuff that kind of comes along with it, this whole podcast being one of them. Yeah.
Will grew up on the South Island. He served in New Zealand's military and as a police officer. He then became a private investigator, which is when Doug called him and told him about this woman who was a target of an online abuse campaign.
To be perfectly honest, I was given very little. To be perfectly honest, I was given very little in terms of information. I was basically just given internet harassment. It's been happening for 3 or 4 years. The victim is at their wit's end. Would you be interested in having a look? So I was like a moth to a flame.
First, he reviewed the evidence the victim gave him, essentially a giant PDF of abusive pictures and comments. The victim had received all this by email, but Will suspected the content also hid. Somewhere else.
I was like, well, there's got to be a website, or there's got to be somewhere where the images are being posted. So I was like, the first step is to find out where the photos are being posted.
And that's when he found it, with a simple reverse image search.
This website. This website, come on printed pics. On printed pics.
The very same website where the Levittown girls had found their images altered, posted, and defiled.
The first time I saw it, it's kind of like disbelief that a website like that exists on the internet. It's like an online sewer, right? So yeah, seeing it in front of me, I was just like, what the fuck is this place? You can tell by the photos on there that the people on there have not consented to being on there in the first place. I would describe it as more of a severe internet harassment site than a pornography website.
To figure out how many users were going after the victim, Will had to wade through every single post made about her. Only then could he figure out who was going after her the most. Once he did that, he was able to determine who was organising the harassment, coordinating it, and goading others to join in.
So if you can imagine this has been happening over like a period of 3 or 4 years, then there is a lot of like content that person has posted. Content that person has posted.
Question remained, who is this person? That's where having a civilian, like Will, involved in the investigation helped. As a private citizen, he could move.
Hello, buddy.
Hello, mate. How are you?
How you doing?
Good, thank you, mate. No worries.
You mind if I make a quick phone call to you, mate?
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
G'day. How are you? No. No worries at all. It's I gave you, I reckon, like 5 minutes notice, so no problem. Yes. Okay. Did that come through Ben to you? No. Oh. So everything's sort of shifted around a little bit over the last week, post the design sprint. Oh, that was the little one, right? The 50 grand, or sorry, great. Yeah, cool. Okay, yep, no worries. Yep. That's okay. Yeah, I've matched you. There we are. Hello. Cool. Okay. Are you comfortable just to change that effective date in the Word document yourself? Great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Saves an email. Yeah. Thank you. I sent you a bunch of budget screen grabs as well in our direct chat. And so this is for CSC all the way through to sort of hypercare, so all of sort of R1, R2, CEB migration. I sent you team profiles for both of those to talk through, and then some pricing around data migration. So high level CFC 750k. The burn rate on that one is, let's pull it up. The burn rate is about sort of 215, 220 a month. Yep. Sure. Touching your numbers. Something like that. Did you really? I didn't know that about you. That's great. Right. Well, helpful. Yeah, no problem. So this goes till late July. Correct. So there's a couple of things that we can do. We can look at some reduction, sort of getting into that June-July area. The other thing that we were considering initially, or what we planned to do initially, was move Ashan over to the CEB migration team, which takes $100,000 out of the cost. We can still do that, but maybe we keep them in CSC for the first 2 sprints, and then we push them over after sprint 10. I guess what I'm saying is there's some flexibility here if we need to move some things around to make the numbers behave. What do you think? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no worries. So, I think looking at the CUB side of things, we moved it around a little bit just to keep it under that 500k to expedite the approval process. But we could easily shift $100,000 from the KEGO, the CSC side, into CUB. So that would drop CSC down to about 650 and put the CUB migration side up to about 600. That's right.